Hello, Taurus, and welcome to your August 2026 monthly horoscope. My name is Justyna. Welcome to my channel. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. All right, so here today we are going to look at the month of August, and I'll tell you how the energies of August may influence your rising sign. So here, this horoscope is most accurate for your rising sign, also called the ascendant sign. However, you can also watch it for your moon sign or your sun sign if you wish, just to get a bigger picture and to get a wider perspective upon your life. So welcome. All right, so we start this month with a big event, something we haven't experienced before. And this is especially important for you, dear Taurus, because it's happening in your sign. It's happening in your sign. This is Chiron stationing retrograde in the sign of Taurus in your first house on the 3rd of August at 0 degrees of Taurus. This is the very first retrograde of Chiron in this cycle, in this brand new cycle. This year, of course, is just a preview, and much more permanent energy will be activated from next year and onwards. All right, so here, Chiron, the wounded healer, whatever Chiron transits, so whatever area of life it transits in our birth chart, it tends to bring healing opportunities in the area of the self. Of course, this is your identity, your self-confidence as well. But with the Taurus undertone, this is connected to sense of self-worth, sense of generally your physical body as well, of course. Your physical body, of maybe feeling different or feeling like you're not enough overall, or perhaps if you've struggled with accepting yourself, then this cycle can really, really help you to heal these negative thoughts, negative self-belief as well. So it's a very personal healing journey. If you, for example, have this strong need for being perfect or being a certain way, if you struggle with being just yourself, then this transit will also redefine how you see yourself, what you want, who you are, and also what kind of life feels aligned with your authentic self, with yourself as well. So it's a major healing journey. Of course, this year is just a little preview, much, much, much more permanent from next year and onwards. All right, so then we've got Mars. Mars moves into Cancer, the sign of its fall. Quite uncomfortable placement for Mars, because here, of course, Mars, the ruler of Aries, the co-ruler of Scorpio, it feels much more comfortable in Aries, and then in Capricorn and Cancer, these are one of the most uncomfortable signs, actually, especially Cancer. And the reason for that also is because here Cancer will square any placements you may have in Aries or in Libra. So here, this is happening in your 3rd house. The 3rd house deals overall with communication, movement, our everyday interactions, communications with others. And also it is connected to short distance travel. So the first thing that always comes into my mind when Mars transits the 3rd house is driving. So watch your speed throughout the second part of August, throughout September. Watch your speed. Make sure you display your tickets when parking in areas that require a parking ticket. And at the same time, watch when working with sharp objects. The 3rd house is the house of Gemini traditionally, and Gemini is connected to our hands. So sometimes the 3rd house energies also stimulate us to work with our hands in a creative way even. So definitely watch when working with sharp objects, because Mars can make you more impatient And the same with driving. Mars can make you more impulsive, more impatient, and sometimes you might be driving faster than you realize. So also watch when communicating with others, watch your reactions, especially those impulsive reactions, because when driving during Mars in the third house transit, sometimes we can easily explode and lash out and later regret. And at the same time, of course, Mars in Cancer is uncomfortable. It's not a comfortable energy. It can be also sometimes during communication when someone disagrees with your opinion, and don't take things too personally, because there's a greater likelihood for having misunderstandings, for example. And this is also the kind of energy that makes you speak your mind, makes you just speak in the moment without fully thinking things through. So something to watch out for. But at the same time, something positive maybe. Something positive, I would say that Mars here, yes, of course, Mars brings us a lot of motivation, confidence. It will make you more of a confident communicator. It can make you more assertive communicator as well. And at the same time, of course, Mars will sextile your Taurus ascendant, any placement you may have in Taurus as well. So this will especially be a time of increased confidence and self-assertion. And at the same time, a great time for working on any intellectual projects, writing, podcasting, working on any digital projects, for example, as well. Right. So then we've got a very important event happening on the 12th of August, and this is a solar eclipse happening in the sign of Leo. A solar eclipse happening in the sign of Leo, so the second eclipse of this brand new cycle that started back in February 2026. And here, a solar eclipse in Leo, that's your fourth house. With the eclipses, we need to look at a bigger picture because, of course, they will keep on reoccurring every 6 months until early 2028, activating your area of home and of your career. So a solar eclipse is connected to big beginnings, but the South Node is attached to it as well. So what it means is that something is being eclipsed out of your life as well before this major beginning can happen. Don't be afraid to let go at this time, let go of what is not needed at your home. Don't be afraid. You're opening up space for new opportunities, new energies. There is likely going to be a major shift happening during this time throughout August, September, because here with the eclipses, we also need to pay attention to the nodes. We need to check whether the South Node in this case scenario activated this eclipse already or not. And no, it wouldn't activate it yet. It won't activate it yet. It will activate this eclipse a few weeks later, around the end of August, beginning of September. And this is when this eclipse will be especially activated. So major shifts in your living situation, in your home situation. Generally, sometimes eclipses could bring tension, pressure around the domestic related matter. We become more aware of any imbalances or anything that brings that sense of instability in the sphere of home for you. And this could be also a decision time of major decisions around your living situation, around the domestic situation, living conditions as well. So there's a new foundation that is being formed, but at the same time, you need to ask yourself what is not working, what needs to change. Generally feels like something is shifting here, but this is just the beginning. All right, so then of course we start Virgo season after a few days after, and that's on the 23rd. So around 11 days after this eclipse, we start a Virgo season. We start Virgo season, so this is when the sun enters Virgo. Virgo, that's your fifth house. So Virgo season is a very creative, productive month for you, a good time for engaging in interests, hobbies that you're passionate about. Of course, for many people, this is a time of generally getting ready for September, for school, for our children's educational journey. And on the 27th, the day before the lunar eclipse in Pisces, we've got the Sun and Mercury Cazimi conjunction. And it's happening at 4 degrees of Virgo. On the 28th, there is a lunar eclipse in Pisces happening at 4 degrees of Pisces. So the Virgo and Pisces axis is being activated towards the end of the month. And this is your 5th and the 11th house. This cycle is almost coming to an end. It will end in early 2027. At this point, the nodes are no longer in Pisces and Virgo. And they would have activated this eclipse already in July. And here with the lunar eclipse, of course, lunar eclipses are connected to culminations. However, before we talk about this eclipse, there is that Cazimi conjunction with the Sun and Mercury. Cazimis tend to bring clarity, like an aha moment. So this is taking place in your 11th house. So whether that's some strong realization about a certain association, connection in your life, a new idea, goal, or perhaps a milestone that feels more realistic than ever, or perhaps an idea of how you could get closer to achieving a certain goal objective. This is definitely something to watch out for on August the 27th. And on the 28th, the lunar eclipse in Pisces happening at 4 degrees of Pisces in your 11th house, the house opposing Virgo. This is connected to your friendships, associations, connections as well. Generally with the eclipse, lunar eclipse in the 11th house, sometimes this could be connected to a major realization, connected to our social circle, friendship that feels misaligned or toxic. Eclipses tend to reveal something that perhaps was hidden, something that perhaps we were avoiding. Eclipses also tend to accelerate the timeline. So whatever happens throughout the eclipse season would have happened anyway. Eclipses tends to speed things up. Overall, with the 11th house, yes, very often it is connected to endings, an end to a certain connection, friendship in our life. This could be also connected to a major realization, shifts connected to a certain connection in your life. Maybe this is about the redefinition of your goals, of your future dreams as well. Now, of course, we've got an opposition to Mercury in Virgo. Watch out for any overthinking patterns that could be quite or feel quite destabilizing at this time. So this eclipse could be connected to a certain friendship connection in your life, reaching a turning point. Maybe you'll be going some changes in your social circle, letting go of a certain connection in your life, especially if you feel like things are not working. At the same time, this eclipse could also help you to gain the much needed clarity regarding where you truly belong in terms of any community or tribe or your own social circle. So this is a major reassessment or reassessing phase of your role within certain groups, of your sense of belonging. And at the same time, this eclipse could also bring an opportunity to meet people who are more aligned, more like-minded as well. So on this note, I wish you a productive month. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next time, bye for now.